Hi, my name is Kim McCarthy. I attend the Greene County Board of Commissioners meetings every Thursday in Xenia. I've been doing this since Trump was elected. I obviously felt the need to do some kind of a positive action in response to his administration, and I figured because I couldn't be in DC pounding on his door, that it would be easier for me to just go down the road 10 minutes, head down to Xenia, and see what's going on at the local level. And as Bernie said, that's where it all begins, right? At the local level. So I'm doing what I can there, and I guess, I really am finding out a lot of what is happening. But today was a regular day at the meeting, lots of admin type resolutions being passed, but I'm going to concentrate in this vlog on the speaker, Shah Qureshi from Wright State University, who came to the meeting at the end to give a presentation on the opioid epidemic that not only Greene County is experiencing, but obviously the whole nation. So I guess he met Mr. Kugler at some event, and Commissioner Kugler invited him to come and speak before the commissioners. Little did Shah know about the hostile environment he was going to find when he got there. He began his talk. He wanted to start his presentation, obviously, with some facts and statistics on what the opioid epidemic has meant to this county and the greater area. And just a few minutes in, Commissioner Glazer literally cuts him off with a, you don't have to tell us about the heroin epidemic. We write checks for it every week. We see it all the time. We really don't want to hear your statistics, but why don't you just go on and move ahead to whatever your point is. The poor guy, I felt so bad for him. He was really quite shaken at being put on the spot like that. Frankly, I wanted to hear the statistics. I had my pen ready to write down the statistics of how much impact this epidemic is really having on our community. But Mr. Glazer didn't really want to hear it. Apparently, he's an expert. So the poor guy, Shah, he pulled himself back together. You could tell he was obviously a little bit shaken up by it all. And he moved on, continuing to present his plan, which was basically an alternative treatment plan to what is currently being on offer. We are doing the same treatments for heroin addiction that we've done in the past. Maybe there's some newer drugs that can help revive people or help with the withdrawal, but we're not giving people the life skills, the coping skills that they need to be able to keep sober after they've been in treatment. If they can even get into a treatment facility, that is. So he suggested that this personalized plan was the way to go, a one-on-one approach with these addicts to help determine exactly why they are there, because we all have different stresses and people are addicts for different reasons. So the same approach is not going to work on everyone, and I think that's already obvious with the rate of failure of these rehab places. So he was here to present this one-on-one individualized plan, and the commissioners really didn't want to hear a bar of it. Like I said, Glazer cut him off. He cut him off further on in his presentation as well, saying how money is pretty much all that matters. He wanted to know how much it cost, ignoring the fact that the costs that we are experiencing now from this epidemic are out of control. It is costing us to treat people in an ineffective way. So why is it a cost to treat people in a different way that might actually be effective? Because a one-on-one plan, it makes complete sense, obviously. We're all different. We all respond to different things. So individualizing a plan, a treatment plan for people, it sounds pretty much ideal. So I really wish the commissioners would have been more open to hearing what he had to say. All they wanted to do was kind of question him, and frankly, Glazer, he really put the icing on the cake when he declared he said something, I'm quoting him verbatim, not so much, but he basically said, maybe it's too late for the people who are already addicted. They don't seem to be able to get clean. So maybe, I don't want to discard them or say that they're worthless, but maybe we should just concentrate on the younger people coming through so that they don't get addicted. Yeah, that's really what he said. He seems to view drug addicts as people who are lazy, that it's their fault. I've seen this attitude come from him, from Glazer, quite a few times across the last few months that I've been going to the meetings. Shah did intervene and say, well, that the people who are affected by this heroin epidemic are really white males, middle-aged males, which is the bulk of the workforce. So it does not affect poor people alone. Anybody of any situation can be affected by this. We don't want to forget that the doctors and painkillers is the number one way into addiction. So I don't think blaming these people is in any way useful. These people are you and me. He also claimed, I think this was Kugler actually, that we were business people. All three of us are business people, and we are about dollars. So they suggested that Shah come back with dollar numbers because that's all they're interested about. I think that we need a caring and compassionate government as well. I am not saying that being wasteful with money is what we want to be either. Obviously, we need to control the money, but at the same time, we also need to consider people, and we need to consider people's feelings. We can't just discard these people who have become addicted, sometimes by no fault of their own. So this is a massive issue that affects all of us. Even if I'm sitting here and I'm not addicted to heroin, the fact that others are in my community, it affects me in ways that I don't even know. So, yes, in summary, I was quite disgusted by the attitude of our commissioners today, as you may have been able to tell. And hopefully next year when Alan Anderson's seat comes up, we can get someone on there with a heart, someone who can give a bit of balance to that 3 white male board that sits up there. Anyway, that's me for today. Thanks for listening, and I will be back next week. All right, bye.